It's bodega time. Yep, what's going on, party people in the place to be? I go by the name of the BK Apologist, transmitting all the way live. New York is the city, Brooklyn is the borough. What's good? What's popping? Happy Friday. Bodega Fridays in the building. It's been a minute, but we are here, and we are here to celebrate and to debrief our amazing experience at the Contenders Conference. Uh, it was just an amazing time, and we have some amazing people who were there to share about that. So, of course, we have the real American Mr. Phil Fox. What's going on, sir?
What up? What up? What up, Bodega family? It's good to be in the house of that BK built man.
Funny. And of course, we have Dr. Doom himself, apologist in Detroit. What's going on, sir?
Look. If y'all just let me take over, I promise you I'll be a benevolent ruler. Just let
Wow.
me do what I'm called to do.
Wow. What a way to start. My goodness. Pray for apologists in Detroit's heart. Of course, we have the bodega ladies in the check-in. We got Shotty Mills. What's going on, Shotty? Okay, maybe not. That's okay. And then next to her is fellow
Can y'all
bodega.
hear me?
Oh, now we can hear
Now
you.
we can.
Oh, hey y'all. What's up?
What's up? And then of course we have Michelle Turner. What's going on, sis?
You gotta say my whole name like that though, fam.
I'm just saying, it's a very nice name though.
I
I
know,
mean,
but you said
It's
the
a
whole
good
name,
name.
Michelle Turner. Like you said it for somebody to come get me, and you set me up.
Wow.
I heard at the conference that Brooklyn was not the barrel, but I digress.
the only thing that I want to get you is the Lord's blessings to come to you in abundance. That's what I want
Wow.
for you.
Yeah,
That's
no. Yes,
humble.
this is what I
No, you don't
heard.
want that. You don't want the Lord's
No,
blessings.
no, that's not what you want. That's not what you
That is
want.
what I want. How do you
You
know I
putting
don't
on
want that?
you putting on for the
How do
people.
you know what I?
You putting on for the people.
So you
I
know my.
I heard
So you read
Brooklyn.
minds.
I need y'all to know I heard Brooklyn wasn't the barrel, and that's all I
Brooklyn
got for
is
y'all.
Oh,
always.
wow.
Grand
What
Rising,
Wow.
you
Grand
heard was
Closing.
lies. Lies. My goodness.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, so we're talking about the Contenders Conference, and just to give you a little taste of how it was, we got a little something to share with you. Hold on.
Dude from the Bronx.
Yeah, okay. You're funny, funny, funny.
Yo, messy. You see, this is how stuff is in the
And
background.
you and
Y'all
I
think
forget that we
y'all
are
think that.
saved by grace. It has nothing to do with what we do. Anytime we believe that we're going to heaven based on our works, we're basically saying we forgot about Jesus. I'm living in the reality of the work of Jesus Christ because he's the only one that can bring me out. So every time I read the law, I recognize that I need a God, a Savior. So listen, you are fighting a battle that you cannot win. You better trust in Jesus Christ. The only thing that can save you is the blood of Jesus. But he saved you by his grace. There is no other gospel.
Yeah, so we just wanted to take some time out to share our experiences, some of the high points that we took, some of the lessons we've learned, from the conference. So we're gonna start with Mr. Phil Fox. What was your initial thoughts about the conference?
Uh, I mean, the conference is. I mean, to me, it's amazing that this is only its second year. Like you couldn't tell that this is only in its second year of existence. I mean, just as far as um, the quality of the teaching, the folks that we were able to scrape together, and the venue, and just the the high quality of the marketing stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's not just a thrown together conference. It was a well put together conference. The schedule was very methodical and well thought out. And so yeah, just just the overall polish of a 2 year conference. Like, you would never guess that this thing is only a couple years old.
Right, right. True indeed, true indeed. Shotty Mills, what are your thoughts about the conference?
Honestly, it was an opportunity to get to hang out with that dude from the Bronx, um,
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but continue.
Ladarius.
There he is.
Oh, man. I wasn't gonna say nothing. Now you just opened the door. You just opened the
Apologists
door.
in Detroit. It was a good. It was. I think the highlight for me was getting an opportunity to just spend time with the fam.
Mhm.
We intermingle with everyone online and in the digital space, but I thought it was a great opportunity for all of us to kind of be together in one space. And of course, I get to see that dude from the Bronx debut his first speaking, like not first speaking, but his first conference as the Bronx apologist. So that was
Yeah, we I
amazing.
don't know who that is again, so
That was that was always a great opportunity. I think Damon had a good session as well, that we AID allowed us to participate in. So yeah, but I think the highlight was being able to just have some quality time with my brothers and sisters.
amen.
Amen.
Apologies in Detroit. What are some of the things that your overall impression of the conference?
There was a conference. I thought I was just hanging out with some friends last week. No, I was joking. It was wonderful. It was and I'm more and more convinced that conferences should integrate um downtime, social time, so that people can spend time together. I think a lot of the like reflections can just happen organically. You're there sharing a meal with a friend in a relaxed setting, talking about what you just learned. I just think that conferences should do that. And on the whole, the Contenders conference is like has quickly become like my favorite conference. I felt like the worship was just like taking you there. That was totally unexpected for me. Um, the presentations, of course, the presentations. I knew that we were going to get top notch presentations because we had some of the country's best apologists on the topics that were addressing those topics. So I knew that those were going to be there, and that's universally the feedback that I got, like amazement in the opportunities and things that people were learning. So yeah, for me, Contenders Conference was like phenomenal, and yeah, I now it's like I expect the bar is high. Like, where do we go from here? That's kind of how I feel.
Cool. Michelle, your initial thoughts on the conference.
My initial thoughts were, who are all these strange people? Um, because I didn't know anybody but Shiny and Tiff. Um,
Wow,
Wow.
really?
Wow.
Man.
That's how it went, huh?
no, I really enjoyed the conference. Like, again, getting to be around all of you, like listening to the different teachings. The breakout sessions were really good. Um, Ladarius being fussed out was also very funny. I mean, Ladarius was Ladarius in that their conference, and
And was
I
acting
was
like Jermaine and everybody else.
yeah,
Sure
it was
was.
like that was Ladarius's conference, and I stand on that. Um,
Hmm.
the
Wow.
Q&A with like the I like if Shadi was up there on that Q&A, it would have been like perfect. But the Q&A was amazing as well. It was Dana, Dinu, Ladarius, and um, I can remember Joseph, I think was the other person's name. But they did a
Mm-hmm.
really good job at addressing the questions, and it was like multifaceted because they all have different lanes. So I really enjoyed seeing um, how they all came together to give well-rounded answers to questions. Um, to see uh to watch BK get up there and be real
BX.
BK, even
BX.
though we know Brooklyn's not
BX.
the borough now.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Uh, he still was very BK and tricking us, but that's another story. But I really just I had a good time. I like taking pictures. And so like I got to take a lot of pictures. That made me happy is to be able to take pictures with everybody too, so I can still have all my memories of the time I got to be with my sisters and the strangers.
Hey,
The
real quick, shout out to Michelle for on the fly recognizing an opportunity, speaking up and making it happen. And she know what I'm talking about.
You know, that's what I do. That's what I do.
That's right.
So speaking of pictures, that's a great
Uh-oh.
segue. So
Please, Alfred. Please. Please. Please.
Dressed
oh
in
well,
all black like the omen.
so we got the bodega ladies
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
chilling, chilling. Got the gang right here.
Bodega crew.
I think I
Hmm.
did a head count and we had like 29 people in this picture. And I know about 5 people in the picture comments on Facebook said, "Oh, we missed the group picture." So we had about 40 people from the bodega there, which was
Wow,
pretty
nice.
amazing.
Yeah, that's dope.
Also, a fun fact: on Sunday, we had 4 people from the UA all preaching at the same state. So I
Hmm.
don't know if that's ever happened before, but I think that's pretty dope. So some other flicks. My man B Moses in the building.
Yeah.
Damezilla.
Mo.
And
Yeah.
let it be noted that in spite of the fact that you support a team that I don't necessarily approve of, you get shown love and respect when you in this state, when you up north.
Wow.
And B Moses will vouch for that.
Wow. Anyway, all right.
Beautiful, beautiful pictures.
Yeah, it was really dope to be, and of course, this was taken during Phil Fox surprise birthday celebration. In fact, let's take some time out to talk about that. So, I think Michelle, the co-conspirator, right? If you could just kind of give us some details on the surprise birthday for the Darius.
I'm mad that we keep calling
Yeah.
Phil Ladarius, but he's been very Ladarius at that conference. But no,
Wow.
so we knew Phil's birthday was coming up, and because we do live in various places, I was like, we probably should throw Phil a surprise party because he won't see it coming. And so we all kind of like got together. Chris handled most of the logistics because he, lives in Michigan. Phil's wife and kids was in on it. Like we had everybody in on it, and Phil had no idea that we was tricking him. So we had invited people that we knew to this party. We was like, I told Phil, I was like, oh, Pastor Sykes said, we all can hang out together at his church after the conference. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go, hang out, eat, and play some games. And Phil was like, yeah, you guys need things. Like, no, we good, we good. Phil is one of the most givingest people that you'll ever meet. So he don't know we're like planning all of this stuff in the background. He's like, you guys need something? You want me to bring something? Oh, I got you guys. We like Phil. Yes. No. So then we're bringing the stuff in. And he's like, you want me to grab something? So I gave him like a box of spoons or something. And he looked at
Boxes.
me like I was crazy
I,
because we didn't want him to see the cake and stuff. And then when we all got up there and I called his wife and his kids up there, and he was looking like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? And we all went up there and um Phil actually shed a thug tear
Yes, yes.
because
that's
he was
good.
not expecting it. And that was like just to see like the joy on Phil's face and like the genuine surprise on his face. That would have made everything. Even the conference sucked. It didn't, for the record. Even the conference sucked. To see Phil's face would have made everything worth it for me, and a surprise that we gave him. So just know we have conferences around your birthday, and we rock with you. You never know what you're gonna get. All Nadia was like, "Oh, it's Chris's birthday too," and Chris was not happy.
See, there you go. See, you could have done justice,
Yep,
but
yep,
instead you
yep.
chose exile.
I chose violence every time.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
but we did, like, Phil was
Yeah.
so surprised, and it was so awesome.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, there was so many things that I enjoyed. The Q&A, you know, Dana, Dean, you, of course, I
BX.
I expect nothing but greatness from them, and they came through. Especially Dana, 'cause Dana was a last minute addition to the
Hmm.
Q&A, so she just got there and do what she does, which is just shut it down. It's like one of the most wisest people I have ever had the honor of knowing. I mean, like, when we used to have the bodegas every Friday night, like she would just the wisdom that would just spill from her without effort is just crazy. You know what I mean?
And
So
it's very natural too. It just comes out
absolutely,
naturally.
Hmm.
effortlessly. Just it's just such a gift, such a gift. And Ladarius did his thing as well. You know what I mean? So that was great. I
Hmm.
definitely enjoyed presenting for the first time. A lot to learn,
At
you
a
know,
conference.
at a
Cause you
conference, at a
you be you
conference.
do your thing. So just
Hmm.
And
let it be known, BX.
that he funny. He funny. So I appreciate that. And we have another person here who would like to share their experiences. We have, of course, one of the presenters of the conference. Of course, I'm talking about Tremaine.
Trick or treat.
Trick or Trey in the
Buddhist
building.
man.
Brah!
Bu-
What's going on?
Buddhist man.
Hey,
What's up? Can y'all hear me?
listen.
Yeah.
Trey. If you know his story, he joined virtually every cult
Right.
in the history of America
He's the most
before he
uniquely
became
qualified to
before he
speak at a
became a
UA
Christian.
conference. Right.
And he has insider knowledge and experience. And not only that, the other day was his wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Happy
Happy
He
Happy
anniversary,
had
anniversary.
brother.
he
anniversary.
had Hebrew Israelites,
Thank you.
Nuwapians, NOI, everybody wishing him happy anniversary,
He
in
he
spite of
has
the fact
he has the affinity
Mormons, Jehovah's
gauntlet of bad
Witnesses.
doctrine.
Nubian
right,
Nation,
in
baby.
spite of the fact that he does apologetics against them, they nonetheless wish him happy anniversary. Only the one, the only
Trey
Trigger, Trey
Park.
Pac, Trevay.
Trey
Oh,
Pack.
he was almost not at Phil's party, because I went up to him afterwards and I was like, "Yo, why hadn't you said nothing about coming to the party?" He was like, "There's a party."
I'm like, what party? Like, I hadn't heard a thing about a party. Like,
He was about to get cussed out for not saying nothing.
I was
And,
left out. I was almost left out of Phil's party. I was left out of a lunch, in my own
Okay,
hometown.
that lunch
I
was.
mean, they just came
I,
in town and just forgot about me and my
you
That-
know
church
what?
put on a conference. Like,
we're talking about the conference. We're not talking about lunch. We're talking about the conference. Hey, he's up on that lunch, man. He's up on the lunch. But no, we did. I was about to cuss him out, and I was like, you ain't said nothing." He was like, "Oh," I was like, "My bad."
I had no
Yeah.
idea.
Tremaine is amazing. The fact that he's streaming from the 1970s right now is such an amazing thing.
Y'all are so
Cause he,
petty.
yes, he got no color in his joy. I don't know how he does that, but we,
Technicolor before Technicolor was a thing.
Color is color.
okay, there you go, there you go. So Tremaine, what were your thoughts on the conference, sir?
I thought it was great. I only got to sit in the two breakout sessions, which was your second one and Chris's breakout session, and those were great. You were very surgical in everything that you did. I thought all of the presenters presented very well. And just the fellowship, just seeing everyone, some people for the first time, that I had never seen before, but you see online in a bodega
Right.
and everything. I think that was the best part of it for me, just to be able to, fellowship with people and talk to people face to face. I think that is what this conference is about. Even though we're getting the, education and knowledge and being equipped, we're still, fellowshipping together, in
Right.
more than one way, not only during the conference, but before and after the conference. We're all hanging out together. And so
Right.
that's really, really, really fun.
Now it's true, man. There's so many people I met for the first time. Shout out to B Moses. That was our first time being in the same room. Shout out to Tyler Lott. You know
Title
what
a
I
lot,
mean?
yeah.
So that was pretty dope. Yeah, I mean it was really good. So all right, so what is one takeaway? I'm sure you guys had many, but what is one takeaway that you received, from the conference? Like what a lesson or what convicted you the most about the conference? We'll start with Trey. Yeah, Trey.
What convicted me the most? Um, I would probably say just as even though you're an apologist, there's still things that you don't know. And I learned that the most sitting in your breakout session and Chris's breakout session. Like, you can still learn. There's still things that other apologists can teach you, that even though you may have thought, okay, yeah, I can, maybe give an effective apologetic against someone in the conscious community, or someone who's not defining biblical justice correctly. And then you sit in, a breakout session that you two guys have, and it's like, oh, okay, now I got something else to put in my arsenal because I did not know that. And so that was just a conviction for me, because I think with a lot of us head knowledge people, a lot of times we're not thinking that, we can still learn things.
Right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Shotty, takeaway from the conference.
Hmm. Um, I would say that Dame's session on having a definition for preaching was very insightful. I'm not a preacher, however, um, I may have to interact with this type of material in the near future. But I thought it was real. I thought it was real insightful for him to have that exercise where we defined what preaching is, and it's important because not only you can take that and apply that to whatever part of ministry it is that you're in. If you have a definition that's grounded in the scriptures, definitely understanding why you're doing something, it can be that guiding light for you as you journey through ministry, to keep you coming back and keeping the main thing. So that was one insight. I think the other insight that didn't come via the conference directly, um, but indirectly, is just how important fellowship is, how important community is for the believer. We live in an age where people believe that they can be rogue Christians. First of all, there's no such thing. There's no such a creature as a rogue Christian, number one. And number two, community and fellowship does the body, the heart, the mind, it does it all good. It's necessary to be able to congregate with like minded believers, to be encouraged, to relax, to have a good time, and just be, to be edified, even in informal ways. So for us to come together and celebrate our brother Ladarius, who, we met on the internet, you know, but we're truly family. But it just to see how much of an impact that had, not just on Phil and his family, but on everyone that was there, the camaraderie, the love, the joy, the relationships that were forged and established, just by us coming together. I think that that is a takeaway that will live forever, for me.
Cool, cool. Uh, Michelle.
Well, Shawnee took my answer about the preaching, because I was going to say developing a definition for preaching, even though I do not preach either. Um, so I will say um, my next one would be um, I don't know if everybody know this, but I don't like everybody. And having to, I don't, but having to like interact with people that like I genuinely don't um, like I will say maybe I should probably be a little nicer to people that I don't care for. Because I think it might be very obvious that I don't like people when I don't like them. Like more than I thought it was. So maybe I should probably work not too much though, because I don't want nobody to get the wrong idea. But maybe I should probably do better with that. And I will also say, just to like see Shani in her Shani and mode that everybody don't get to see her in, hosting um hosting Family Feud, like and getting her just getting to see her shine because she doesn't like to do that very often. Oh, and watching the married men do Family Feud, and they asked the question, um, "What is a dating red flag?" I learned real fast that don't ask married men nothing who are actually happily married, not just the regular ones, but the ones who are actually happily married. Ask them nothing because as smart as Uncle Damon is, he was like, "A what on a what site?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I knew they was gonna lose then." Um, and Tremaine was like, "People are on dating sites." It was so bad. Pastor Smith stood up and was like, he had nothing to say. He just kind of waved his hand like, "I'm done. I got nothing." And Evan stood up and gave a wrong answer too. Tremaine gave a even wronger answer, and Uncle David didn't even know where he was at with the question. And I enjoyed watching them. Just not know, like Uncle David, like 6 times was like, "A what flag? A where at? What's going on here?" It was like watching the old man try to figure out what was happening. And yeah, Pastor Smith probably is still confused because he really literally had no answer. And Tremaine stood up like he was gonna save him and get him some points, and he did not. He was just as wrong as they were. None of them had no answers. So what my takeaway from that is when people are married and happy, just don't ask them no questions about dating website. Or you can use it to figure out if they're actually happy, because then they will actually have an answer. Because they had none. It was quite hilarious. But to get to see people um that are like really smart, really cool, like just to see them and like just to be themselves and have the community and just get to enjoy each other, and everybody can like let their hair down without people being like, "You're a sinner." I mean, I don't know. Had they answered that red flag question right, I may have said that. But it was hilarious. Yeah, Uncle David was like, why is a red flag on the side? Is it like a literal flag? I'm like, no. I said, if the name is Kwam Yasharala, like I had to give a literal example because he could not understand what they were talking about. I was like, this is terrible. And Tremaine was looking around like, what happened? And I just like Evans did the best they're trying to answer, and he was just as wrong as they were. And I don't even know Pastor Smith. He should have just sat down and not even stood up because he had nothing. I enjoyed that. That was the best part of the birthday party, was watching them struggle to answer that question.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Phil Fox.
Yeah, actually, the one of the biggest takeaways for me was actually after the conference, and while I was getting ready to be surprised. Um, actually, I was challenged quite a bit by a young man that our brother from One Gospel Ministries, Brother Evans, brought, and I had about a 20-minute conversation with this young man, and he was like on fire for Christ, and the amount of time that you can tell that that Pastor Evans put into this young man, um, it and he was like, and he was like ecstatic that he said that Evans brought and enrolled, like I think it was like 7 of them or something into um uh Chaplain Kevin's program. He's doing a program on the early church, I think Constantine or something like that right now, and he enrolled all of them in that class, and just just the you can tell the amount of passion and guidance that really challenged me to want to be that way to more people, along with Sister Dana. People are talking about how surgical she was during the Q&A. I mean, I'm always blessed anytime I get to interact with her or be on any kind of platform or panel with her, because her insights and her just her passion for people and her do life mentality, it's always an extremely challenging thing for me. I mean, and not challenge in a negative sense, a challenge in a way where I want to do better, be better, and to strive to to push myself to to their example. So yeah, I was definitely blown away, and specifically for this young man that I got to have the conversation with, because you can tell he loved Pastor Evans and he was blessed by the amount of time and care and passion that he was putting into his life. And so I imagine it was that way for all of these other young people as well. So shout out to you, Pastor. God bless you for that example, and just for your care for the next generation. You know what I mean? And then of course, shout out to the panelists. Dinu killed it. Minister Mallory killed it. And of course, Dana, just came in as she does, you know what I mean, and blows people away. I mean, I don't know how many people have come up to me and was talking about the conference and the panel and all that kind of stuff, and people were like inquiring, like, who was that lady? Man, she blessed me so much, especially like at church and stuff on Sunday. So yeah, it was pretty amazing. But those were the two major things that stuck out to me throughout the conference. But I mean, there are just so many highlights and so many moments, and the fellowship was probably the most supreme part of all of it, is just being able to be in the same room with people, hug people, love on people, and just be there together and hang out and show each other love.
Amen. Apologies in Detroit.
Yes. I thought Michelle had emotionally killed somebody with a trident. You might want to lay low for a week or two.
I am the nicest person you'll ever meet in your life. The fact that I ain't cussed you out today. I have not cussed Chris out today, so Chris better tread lightly because he already on the thin line.
You know I love you. I love you. It was so good to see you in person.
The line is thin.
The line is thin. What you hit me for? What I
and
did?
Shawnee too. Shawnee's definitely that girl too.
What's the question, BK?
Like, what's a takeaway or something that convicted you throughout the conference?
A takeaway or something that convicted me throughout the conference. Okay. This is no disrespect to anybody who presented. No. It's actually a positive thing. It's actually positive. It's no disrespect to, because I think I know why. Okay, so we didn't have, like, often when you go to a conference, you'll have like a sort of celebrity Christian, and they're kind of the draw. Everybody, like, they you bring this person on, and the vast majority of people. I don't think that we had like a celebrity Christian. I think that's no knock on any of us.
I was there.
Trey don't count.
Okay, Trey aside, that's no knock on any of us. Like none of us have followings, because many of us do have followings, and I'm sure, and people came up to us to say that. But I'm saying, like, nationally speaking, when you get conferences like these, I thought that this conference bucked against the norm by not having this really big person. Not only did we not have a big celebrity, speaker, not only did we not have that, we also had a very short window after the conference was announced at the beginning of September through the middle of October, when the conference actually took place. And so I felt like, the success of the conference, whether it be attendance or the countless testimonials that we've heard, not simply from us, but from others who've attended the conference, is a testament to the quality of conference that it actually was. It wasn't about celebrities drawing and all of that. It was really about koinonia fellowship, Christians coming together, fellowshipping and learning what the Bible has to say. And you don't have to have a famous person telling you what the Bible says in order for it to be relevant or to matter more. So I did feel like that's one of the successes of the conference, and that was that was one of the successes. And I would say that we what a takeaway. What was another takeaway from the conference? I mean, it was just so many. I got to kind of peek into just about everybody's, other than the ones that went on when I was actually doing mine on Friday. I got to kind of peek in on everybody else's conference. I mean, everybody else's presentations, and I just thought it was just so the quality of wisdom, as you guys have already alluded to, coming from that panel, as well as the quality of presentations from all of the speakers was just phenomenal. And so yeah, I guess those are a couple of takeaways I would say.
Cool. For me, honestly, I think the thing that it was something that I definitely needed, and it was the ability to be silly with you guys. Like the week prior to the conference was a very stressful one for me. Uh, Not necessarily in a bad way, but there was just so much stuff I had to take care of. So the fact that I was able to touch down in Detroit and be with my crew, a crew that I don't very rarely get to be in the same room with. And yeah, we had deep, nerdy conversations, but we got to be really silly. And I needed that. You got me, Chris, a bunch of black men in a hotel lobby, out the blue, playing spades, singing "Careless Whisper," like out the blue. Like picture that, a bunch of black men singing "Careless Whisper" in a hotel lobby while playing spades. You know what I
That that
mean?
was that was kind of a unique moment.
That was very unique, very unique. And then, you know, the bodega ladies took care of me, made sure I had, I could eat. I had some vegan options. You know, Shawty was great. She was being super silly with me, and I really needed that because I don't think she even knew. I had such a stressful week prior to that, and God just used her in a great way to just cheer me up. So I really needed that, and yeah. Oh yeah, meeting Pastor Bennett, body bag man.
Yeah, for real.
That was definitely a big thing for me. Seeing the great slayer of the conscious community up front. You know what I mean? So but yeah, just being silly with my people really meant a lot to me. So yeah.
Yeah, and then I also got yelled at the conference by my sister
Oh
Shadi.
gosh.
Uh, she I wasn't gonna bring it up, but she brought it up. So anyway, she smacked me
Oh,
in my arm,
my
sat me
bad, my bad. I
down.
didn't mean to cut you off, but Pastor Smith
Oh,
definitely
yeah,
looked out for
there you
me,
go.
and they made sure they had a vegan meal for me. Really good. It was really,
Really
really good.
good. I
It was
enjoyed the
really
vegan
good.
meal.
Right, Chris
Nice.
almost converted that day. You know what I mean? So, but Pastor Smith definitely took great care of me, man. Definitely. Thank you, thank you. So,
Now the first night too, it was funny. Uh, like all of us got to the hotel and like there was nothing open, and so like a gang of us went over to White Castle, and rolling into the hotel lobby was BK with a bunch of bags of White Castle, so it looked suspect. So I was like, "Oh, everybody, take a picture, take a picture."
impossible. They were impossible sliders. Just so everybody knows, they were impossible burger sliders. So, everybody, calm down. So, to
Yeah,
any of
man.
the Hebrews and Hoteps lurking in the bushes, like like no, no, no.
Ha!
You get
Got him.
got him. So, but yeah, man, it was really, 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 really dope, man. And
Yeah, and shout out
man,
to Pastor Ken.
yeah,
The brains behind the operation, the conviction behind the operation. All the folks in the background. The unsung heroes.
yep,
Folks at the table folding shirts. People. Grabbing coffee and all doing all the running. You know what I mean? The folks who aren't seen, who aren't on the stage. all the camera people, the sound folks, you know what I mean? All the folks that were, throughout the year helping to give and support the conference and stuff, and Crossover Church, Trey, part of that, Pastor Dez, Veda, who helped set the tone for the conference, as far as, setting up the, keeping us on track and keeping us on time. And yeah, man. So shout out to like all the unsung heroes to make this thing a success, man. It was super dope.
Facts. So since we got the Detroit trifecta on the panel, will there be a contenders conference for 2024?
That's the goal. So we're just working on trying to see, what we can do to make sure it happens in 2024 as far as, partnerships and sponsorships and things like that, so that we can make it happen again, because I think it is a thing that's needed, being that we had more people show up this year than we did last year, even though we had, some of the same speakers with a few speakers, and just trying to keep it fresh too. So just looking to see, who we can keep, BK and Phil, Dinu, and seeing who we can add to the roster. So I think that's important as well. Seeing who we can add, to keep it fresh faces, fresh voices, so that people are still, looking forward to it. I look forward to it every year. I like ever since last year, I was looking forward to it this year. So and it's my home church that puts it on. My pastor, we, didn't have an apologetics ministry until I got there. So this is something that's kind of like a baby of ours that we're, still, that's still in its infancy. So we're still trying to grow it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, but yeah, man. So we just want to come on and just share some more thoughts of an amazing conference, and we're gonna close it out. So, final thoughts and things we can expect from you guys on your platforms in the immediate future. Let's start with Apologies in Detroit.
Yeah, I spoke to Matthew Jackson like after I prepared my talk. I went ahead and did like a preview of it with Matthew to get some feedback on it, and he thought that it would be good for us to do a rundown of it on the Christian Urban Institute. So that'll probably be coming up in a week or so. Um, I've actually have some follow up meetings with. If you were there you know there was one particular young man who actually were asking some of the critical questions in my presentation. We'll actually have a meeting with him on Monday. We spent about an hour after my presentation just talking and kind of breaking down things. And we exchanged contact information, and we're following up and to do more extensive. And that's one of the things I think that's super valuable from this. Also, it's one thing to disagree with another Christian and condemn them. It's another thing to see fruit in another Christian, see them, acknowledge them as a brother in the Lord, and to have a desire to understand and to continue to pursue unity and relationship with a person, in spite of the fact that at the moment you might disagree. So yeah, on a more personal level, I have that coming up. That so y'all can pray about that conversation with him.
Man,
Yeah.
Phil Fox.
No, I just, I have to shout out, my family, and, my, more specifically, my wife, for, not just the birthday thing, but just, allowing me the time and sharing me with you all, the urban apologetics community, her patience with me, the long hours of study and the weird hours, and, being on, at 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday or on a Friday night and all that kind of stuff. Like there's a lot of grace that comes from our wives and our families, and those who
Yep.
are around us. And so shout out to them, for allowing us to, be able to do these things, because that is a sacrifice that our families have to make, our spouses, kids, and whatnot.
Yep. Yep.
And and so, so shout out to my wife, my family, and just this community. You know what I mean? We, it's amazing to me that we all don't have the same exact theological bent, but I'm sure there's areas that we all disagree with.
Mhm.
We disagree with each other, but we can come together as brothers and sisters in Christ and focus on the core issues and not be so dogmatic about the fringe issues that separate us.
Right.
It's a testament on how the body should work. And unfortunately, there's just not a lot of spaces that allow for that to happen.
Hmm.
And, so we can have, a plethora of different views all represented but all speaking to one accord, and that's to honor Christ and him crucified through his resurrection. And so it's just amazing. I know I'm blessed by the Bodega family. All of you bless me, and I just continue to pray that I bless the UA community, the Bodega community, even just a fraction as much as you guys bless me.
Amen. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate that. Tremaine, what can we be expecting from you, sir?
All right. So first, I want to shout out my pastor Ken Neither for just allowing me to express my gift with the body at my church and given the opportunity to do it at the conference as well. I've ever since the conference or during the conference, I was getting people asking me and people coming to me about people asking about my presence online. I don't really have one, so look forward to that coming soon on YouTube, Facebook, all of that. I'm going to start teaching some apologetics topics regarding a lot of the cults that we see. So, I'm going to start doing that more. I'm going to start and try to do it at least once a week and then see how much I can do it from there. So look for that coming soon. Probably going to call it Dungeon Apologetics. So get ready, y'all.
Dungeon.
And they be coming for Trey too. Interesting thing to see. So, but yeah, man. So this was great, guys. Thank you for coming on a Friday night and just to share your experience. God willing, we will see even more people from the UA community at the next Contenders conference. And yeah. So with that being said, apologies in Detroit. Trey, Phil Fox, and BK signing off. Peace.